I'm going to start, this is the Math 7 Week 5 unit checkpoint. I'm going to start with number 2, and I'm just going to point out a few things on each one here. So this one, it has an open circle. It has an open circle on the -5, so we know that our boundary is a -5, but it's an open circle, so that rules out option 1. And it rules out option 3. So now we just need to decide, are the x's that are shaded in less than -5 or are they greater than -5? And all of these numbers shaded in this way are all greater than -5. So the answer here is option 4. Question 3 is a factoring question. Okay, so it's kind of like on distributing. Something has already been distributed. And if we look at our choices, we can rule out the first one because we can't divide 18 by 12. So we're really going to look at our next 3 options. So we know our greatest common factor is either a 6 or a 2. And we're going to choose the 6 because we want to choose the greatest common factor. One thing you could do is you could just distribute both of these choices and see which one works. And you're going to find that this one works here. So the third choice is the answer here. So if we were to distribute that, we could check because 6 times 2x is 12x, 6 times 3 is 18. So this one is going to be our correct choice. This one here, number 4, says it's a sum. So we want to make sure we add them together. So we're going to add our like terms, the 2x plus x and our -5y plus y. And then when we get our answers here, we're going to add them or combine them. So added together, this gives us 3x. -5y plus y is -4y. So we could write plus -4y. That's correct. But if we look at our choices, we're going to have to choose this choice here, the first one, because they write it as 3x minus 4y, which is the same thing. They are the same thing, so we need to recognize that. With number 5, remember it's a rectangle, so it has 4 sides. So we need to make sure we add all 4 of the sides together. We had one of these last week. Doesn't really matter which is which, but we want to make sure that we add all 4 sides together. So this is going to give us 14x, 4x plus 3x plus 4x plus 3x is 14x. So we can automatically rule these out. 8 plus 8 is 16. And then minus 2 is going to give us 14x plus 12. Number 6, these always give us a problem here. Remember, we start at 100%, and if we increase by 7.5%, we're going to be at 107.5%. And the one that reflects that is 1.075p. So 107.5% of the population. A popular answer was the first choice, but that would be a 75%. 0.75 is 75%. When we solve the equation in number 7, we want to isolate the variable. So we need to add 5 to both sides first. So that would be, right over here, that'll give us 18a equals -77 plus 5 is -72. Then we divide both sides by 18 because it's 18a. That means 18 times a. So -72 divided by 18 is -4. In number 8, we need to make sure we distribute this 5 first. So 5 times x. Don't forget to distribute the 5 to the -4 as well, so it's -20 equals 60. Then from here, we can add 20 to each side. 5x equals 80. And then our last step is going to be to divide both sides by 5. Make sure you show it on both sides. I know you can't really do that on the computer, but on a separate paper. So then x equals 16. That is our solution. Notice we haven't been doing checks, so really you should be taking this 16 and putting it in place of x in the original equation to make sure you get 60 as your answer. Number 9 was another commonly missed one, so we want to make sure, again, since we're isolating that x, we want to add 9 to both sides first. Okay, so over here we'll end up with x over 5 is equal to 5 because -4 plus 9 is 5. Now remember, there's a couple ways we can do this. We can think about the reciprocal. This is the same as 1/5 x. So 1/5 of x is 5. So we need to find out what x is. So the inverse operation would be to multiply by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So x equals 25. You could also think of it as a division problem. Since x divided by 5 is 5, then we have to multiply to find out what that value of x is. Skipping down to number 10, another one where we have to distribute. We have to distribute this 1/2. So we end up with 1/2 of x. And then we need to distribute to the 8. So that gives us a +4 equals 12. Then we can subtract 4. And we end up with 1/2 x equals 8. Some of you stopped here, but half of x is 8. We need the whole thing. So we need to multiply by 2. I'm running out of space here. So 2 times 1/2 gives us 1x. 8 times 2 is 16. So therefore x equals 16. This is a one-step inequality. We do it the same way we would do if we had an equal sign here. So something divided by 4 is less than 3. So we're trying to find that boundary. So what would b have to be in order for it to equal 3? And the way we would solve that is going to be, sorry about that, let's try that again. There we go. Not so much. All right. Anyway, we have b over 4 is less than 3. So we're going to multiply by 4 to get that boundary. So b is less than 12. Okay, and therefore you can see here that these are the correct answers. I'm not sure if you see that on your screen when I give you the results. That's just the several options that I gave as a correct answer. All right, so since our answer to 11 was b is less than 12, our boundary is 12, so that's going to be what we're going to circle on the graph. And because it's less than 12, it doesn't include 12, so it's going to be an open circle. Okay, so we can have something just a little bit tinier than 12, like b could be 11.99, but it can't quite be 12. That's why we put that open circle there. And we're going to, the arrow is going to point to the left because we want all of the values that are less than 12. So on a number line, those values would be shaded to the left. Keep in mind, this is a quick summary of this checkpoint. So if you have further questions, please make sure that you send an email to your teacher and we can explain further if that's what you need. Thank you.